part of our culture. Like it was this show that used to come on not too long ago. I think it was a dance cruise on MTV. I think the Jabberwockies was on there. I forgot the name of this Asian dance group that was on there. Um, they were really good, man. But one thing I will say is they took the good part of the dance of our culture. When you see other groups dibble and dab into our culture, they don't take that part of it. So I'm wondering if you would debate with me, why do you think they don't take the twerking part? Why do you think that they would take the hip hop, the more cadence part, the things of that nature? But the twerking part, anybody that comes in our culture, they leave that alone. Like I said, I think it's for private. I have nothing against it. It's nothing against it, but I think with our black queens, I think it brings on a certain image that is destructive. It's destructive to the black woman. I don't think that's what needs to be displayed. Because let's just be honest. And I have nothing against these artists. Megan Thee Stallion just got an NAACP Image Award not too long ago. You got Cardi B meeting with presidents. They had a song called WAP. We all know what that is. And so what I'm saying is now you look at the image of the black woman is associated with over sexualization. And then so when women get on the social medias, the Instagrams and stuff, and they recreational twerk, you may be having a good time, whatever the case is. But at the same time, what kind of damage do you think that is doing in the long run? That's my opinion. I know Sierra just came out with a song called Jump. She's a married woman. Some people can agree or disagree with that because she's a musical artist. So I kind of straddle the fence with that. But I think a lot of things can be done tasteful. And I think where the car is driving, it's driving in the wrong direction. Um, Ron Smith, what's up, bro? He said it's all about context. Everything isn't appropriate at all times. If you partying and kicking it, then hey, do you? If you at a wedding, church, etc., then of course no. I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. It's a time and a place for everything, man. And I think especially social media, it's that lasts forever. As you can see, people are going back on tweets from 10 years ago. I think Kevin Hart had an incident where he couldn't was a host of Oscars or something because they went back on something that he said in one of his stand-ups about the homosexual community 9 or 10 years before he wanted to host. So I think we have to be mindful of that. And the reason I played Amazing in the beginning because I I don't want to down our black women, but I want to show how they are amazing. But at the same time, I think what's lacking in our community is lacking in our men too. But I think it's so much in the forefront of our community is with the women nowadays. It's no self-awareness. It's no accountability when it comes to certain things. It's always if you mention things of this nature, but take me as I am, or it's not that serious, or things of that nature. And I would suggest that that is so not true, man. So my opinion on twerking is me and Ron share the same opinion that it's a time and a place for it. It's for your husband, it's for your spouse behind closed doors. Um, but one thing I do notice is a lot of single women do it. And what I would touch on is, do you really think setting your phone up, putting your camera on, pressing record on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Snapchat, TikTok, whatever the case is, do you really think that is something that is conducive to you being able to find a quality man? And I would submit to you, especially if you are leaving yourself open to the possibility of getting into a serious relationship, I promise you 9 out of 10 times, a quality man would rather you not do that publicly. A quality man would rather you not do that publicly. I can probably agree with most married men. They damn sure don't want their wife on there doing it. I can probably speak for 99.999% of men, of married men. They don't want wives on there twerking, because it leaves a sense of an invitation. And as we know, married women, married, single or not, you already gonna get hollered at everywhere you go, grocery store, don't matter where you at. So the last thing you want to do is to bring on some extra added attention um, to yourself. That's my personal opinion on the twerking. Um, Also, and I'll say this: it's gotten so normal that the Senator Tierra Mack of Rhode Island, she was a state senator, is a state senator. She got some flack behind it. Well, she got some people were on her side, but then she also got some negative comments about what she did. She was twerking and things of that nature. And what I'm saying is getting out of hand. Um, females, especially I'm speaking to my black queens, man. Let's, even though I know y'all do it the best, okay. Let's. I'm not blind, but at the same time, I want where's the priority? Is the priority getting attention, or is the priority trying to get a quality guy? And I guarantee you, a quality guy will want you to do that. My personal opinion is for attention. Attention, attention is sometimes could be a worse drug than crack cocaine and all of that. Attention, man. And what I'm seeing now is a lot of women that are doing that, they're doing it for attention. Because let's be honest, man, you can look on their previous posts before they do it. You can look on their profile and see what type of things are going on in their lives and things of that nature. And most of the time, when I see women that are overly sexualized, that are twerking, I'm just being honest. Can we be honest? Most of them are single. Most of them are not married. Most of the married women I know aren't doing that publicly. They just aren't. Now, if you catch them at a barbecue when there's few fam around, they might do once or twice, just to show I still got it. But at the same time, they don't overdo it, and I think that's what's happening now. And that's my opinion. Um, I'll just say that. But let's get into the song, man, that I want to play. Um, it's from a good friend of mine, man. We went to school together. I do minds and music with MJ. So what I do is we talk, we say a couple of topics, we talk about it, and then we go into some music. Then we're gonna come back. When I come back, we're gonna talk about the men. See, one thing I don't want to do is just get on the women. I gotta hold us men accountable too. You know what I'm saying? I got to hold us men accountable also. Um, we just talked about what's talking, and how do you think it has affected the image of the black woman? I think it's I think it's going down the wrong direction. I think it's overly sexualized the women, because I see new people coming on. So I just wanted to say that's what we just talked about. And we're gonna play the song. This is called Mad Emoji, and this is by Tony Good at it. Hope y'all enjoy this.
Get at it, get at it, get at it, hey. Had to stay down and come up there, had it panic on me. The way my family's looking Italian, got a bandage on me. These haters see my growth, they get big mad at tone. Oh, what's the frown for, looking like them mad emojis? Big man, looking like the mad emojis. Big man, looking like the mad emoji. When these haters see my bro, broke, they get big mad at tone. Oh, what's the frown for? Looking like the mad emoji. Big man or nah, looking like the mad emoji. Getting a big band right now, looking like the cash emoji. And the V12 come down. Made you think I'll pass them slowly. See the details of my drip. Made you think new fashion over. Particularly a winning streak. My trophy piece gon' pop the heat. My God, you need some sleep. Start watching me. Feel awkwardly. The way the hate is real. Tread cautiously. This audio dope is for sale like an auctioning. Feeling some type of way. Receiving a lot of praise. I'm no longer the water boy like Bobby Boucher. If your mindset ain't forward focused, then you in the way. Go get it, go get it, go get it. What's wrong with the look on your face? And you all in your feelings and you really don't know me. See my elevation, then you get big mad and tone it. Just to make it even worse, I might go cop the rolling. Oh, what's the frown for? You look just like the mad emoji. Had to stay down and come up there, had it panic on. The way my family's looking tired, you got a bad bitch on. These haters see my growth, they get big mad at tone. Oh, what's the frown for? Looking like the mad emoji. Big man, looking like the mad emoji. Big man, looking like the mad emoji. When these haters see my bro, they get big mad at tone. Oh, what's the frown for? Looking like the mad emoji. What's the frown for? Magic City downpour. They really want clout more. Got square footage around the house door. With a land speeder and they sit outdoor. Had to switch up on come up and had to reroute course. Italian fabrics, the highest fashion. They got me swagging, carries, diamond dancing, good at the challenge and berries. By your action, you be the maddest. My timepiece looking fancy. This is a paddy. Big mad on your behalf because you hating on Tony. Big sad on your behalf, looking just like that emoji. Big bag that's full of cash, you know I got them hundreds on it. Paper tags on the back of that, you better stack your money. We the wave, just like a tsunami. You can hate, they won't get you no money. Real estate, invest so I look comfy. You kept as fuck, you got a problem, you ain't this shit funny. Had to stay down and come up there, had it panic on. The way my family's looking tired, you got a bad bitch on. These haters see my growth, they get big mad at tone. Oh, what's the frown for? Looking like a mad emoji. Big man, looking like the mad emoji. Big man, looking like the mad emoji. When these haters see my bro, they get big mad at tone. Oh, what's the frown for? Looking like the mad emoji.
That was my guy there, man. Mad emoji. Tony good at it, man. I remember Tony. One year we did a pep rally together. I think that was when that Just Like Music just came out with Eric Sermon and Marvin Gaye, and I'll always remember that, man. So yeah, that was one of my joints, man. I hit him up actually. I hit him up a few days ago. Said, man, I got to play this one. I got to play this. And he was like, man, do your thing. You already know. Appreciate the love. So, yeah, mad emoji. Tony good at it, man. That was good. Now, let's get back to the get back. We already talked about the twerking for women and how do I think it is affected the image of the black woman. I think it affected it. It's going in the wrong direction. We see it way more frequent than we did at first. But let's talk about our men, man. And I'm gonna say this, and we ain't gonna be long on it. We ain't gonna be long on it. I want y'all opinion about this because my opinion is on this is a little it can be a little skewed. But should men lead with their money? I ask that because lately I've been seeing a lot of men flossing their money, leading with it. They almost can't even have a conversation if they're not talking about what they obtain or what they have. How you gonna sustain a quality relationship if the only attraction, a majority of the attraction that she has for you is what's in your pocket? Now let's not get this wrong now. Money does answer a lot of things. But at the same time, what I'm seeing is relationships are not lasting because the root of it was created with money. And most of the time, the man has the money, and the woman has attached herself to the man with money. Now I'm gonna say this: it's a good thing to have money. It really is. It really is. It answers things or whatever. But what I have seen is a lot of insecure men, because we're talking at the end of the day, it's insecurity on both sides. I think it's attention with the twerking, it's attention, is insecurity. You're not securing yourself to feel like that. If I don't twerk, I won't get the type of attention I need. But if you want quantity, keep doing it. But if you want quality, you might need to go another route. So on the flip side, it's the same kind of mindset I have with the men. Now, if you're only leading with your money, if most of your conversation is, well, I have this, I have that, I make this in my job, this, that, and the third. And if most of your value is always tied to a dollar, then it might get you the quick fix, but it's not going to sustain. If you, and I know I'm not the only one, is if you look at most of the relationships that have sustained, I'm talking about the marriages 15, 20, 25, 30 years. One thing that most of those marriages and those relationships have in common is when they started out, they both got it out the mud. Their relationship wasn't created off the monetary value. Most of the long-lasting relationships are the ones that, well, when we got together, man, I had a beat up car and I took her to the movies and the transmission wasn't right. And I was working here. I was making $10 an hour, $8 an hour. But those were good times. And a lot of those sustainable relationships, they say that because those are the times that tested their real love. Those are the times that tested their loyalty. So what I will say for me, now let me read some of the comments. Ron Smith said, great point. I agree. That's not a woman that I want. We're talking about the twerking them. And as she should have, honestly, bro, what the senator did was embarrassing and inappropriate. Image is everything, and she would not be taken seriously by her constituents. Correct. I was trying to get the gist of, the song was mad emoji. Pretty much it was a hating song. You hating on, you got the mad emoji. Ron, you probably experienced that. You've been somewhere and somebody hating on you, they looking at you a certain way. Your wife has probably experienced that. You know how people are, man. They're jealous of you for no reason. You haven't done anything personally to them. So they look at you with the mad emoji, like you big mad with the mad emoji. Here's an interest point. I didn't learn or see twerking until I came down south from Chicago. That's a good point, Ron. That is more of a southern thing. With the women and the twerking, that is more of a southern thing. I have noticed that. That's more of a southern thing. If you go up north, it's not as prevalent as it is in the south. But back to my fellas, what do y'all think, man? Should men lead with their money, or should they lead with more of personality, more of things of that nature? What my personal opinion is, if you want sustainable relationship, lead with the other things that's going to sustain a relationship. Most of the things that I hear people saying nowadays that they want in a man, that they want in a woman, I'm not going to say most of the things, but a lot of the things has nothing to do with sustaining a relationship. It really don't. You want a man that make 6 figures. What if he lose it? You want a woman that her measurements are on point, Coke bottle. And as we know, then I know women can attest to this, Coke bottle leaves at a particular time. So those are the things that you are basing your relationship off, especially initially. Then what kind of sustainable outcome do you think you're going to have? And what I'm seeing a lot of times, and I'm talking about my men, is when we lead with the money, it's 2 things that happens. It's not sustainable because you're going to have to keep up. You're gonna have to keep up. And B, you get taken advantage of. You get taken advantage of. So she only sees you through the dollar scope. So you're gonna have to do a lot of work for you to change that view in her mind of that. And so that's why I'm always, anytime y'all hear me talk, man, about relationships, I'm always advising people to work the inside out and not the outside in. The inside out will always have the better results at the end. The outside in, like I said, might get you the quick fix, but the well will run dry. Believe that. My parents been married 39 years. They started out nothing. They probably don't mind me saying that. I've been married 8 years. We started out nothing. My brother's been married, I think 12 years, started out nothing. My grandmother and granddad was married 64 years, started out nothing. I know plenty of couples, Pastor Don, Sister LaVon, Mr. Mark, Miss Lord, Ron, his wife, Malcolm Jefferson. I can go down the line. What they have now has sustained them because of the things that lacked before. And I know that's tricky because it almost sounds like I'm saying you got to struggle with somebody. But in a sense, you do. Because how do you know who a person really is until you see them at their lowest point? And I know sometimes it's taboo to say, hey, man, you got to struggle with them. Hey, tell the ladies you got to struggle with them. But it means more, it's worth more when you have built together. Like, for instance, I'll use it like this. A lot of women like to get nice cars. You surprise a woman with a car, you just know her color. She like the screen in the inside, the heated seats. You can't miss with a car, right? But with a house, a woman is a little bit more particular. So a lot of the times, unless it's just out of this world, you absolutely know what she like. A lot of the times, I would not advise men to surprise a woman with the house. Because one thing about that is a house is always better when it's built together, when both inputs are into it. A car, it's a little different. So I would analogize it like that. If you build something together, it's always more sustainable. The foundation is always more sustainable. But if you try to just lead with the money and you trying to showboat, for my men, at the end, it doesn't equate to sustainable results. It really doesn't. So I would say men should not lead with their money. Women should not twerk publicly. These are the things that I think if we start getting back to the conversations and we start listening to each other, then I think we can come to a median somewhere. But when everybody's talking around and fussing here and there, I think we don't get nothing solved. But what I will say is, and I got to say this, and I got to put the guys on my back with this. One thing about fellas, we do take self-awareness a little bit better than my ladies. So if I was to tell a man, hey, bro, I know you got your bag, you in your bag, but don't lead with that. When you take her out on the first date, take her somewhere like bowling. Don't be extravagant on the first date. Get to know her. Take her bowling, then take her, go to Starbucks and just talk, or find her interest or something. Start slow and lead your way up, and then it'll mean more. I've told a few men that, and they have listened, and it has meant something. But when you start telling the women, hey man, chill out. I'm not saying this. I'm saying I have really did this. I have really told women, hey man, what's up? What's up with the twerking, man? What kind of quality of a man you think you're gonna get if you shoot for quality now? And most of them are. If you shoot for quality, what kind of quality man you gonna get by twerking? Oh, leave him alone, MJ. Oh, it's just it's not that serious. Or it's recreation. It's just fun. It's girls' night out, all of that there. And what I'm saying is, well, what is the main goal? Where's your priority? Where's your priority? If it's attention for quantity, keep doing what you're doing. But if you want quality, if you want something sustainable, then I would suggest you not do that recreationally anymore. Say that for your guy. Say that for your guy. So I'm not gonna hold y'all long, man. I really appreciate Ron. I see Alan in here. I appreciate y'all being with us. Listen, if you have not subscribed to the Lineage Podcast on YouTube, you are missing out. If you have not subscribe, and hit the notification bell on the Lineage Podcast, you are missing out. Me and my brother, we talk about everything from A to Z, from 1 to 1 trillion. We go down and we love the feedback that we get. Also, we love the support. If you haven't got the book, Sell Myself Sacrifice, please go get it. It's on Amazon now. We got a lot of things coming up, a lot of good things coming up that I'm really excited about. I can't share everything. Lord knows I be wanting to share stuff, but sometimes I put my foot in my mouth. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to it, to the Lineage Podcast. Support us, man. Y'all see what we doing. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, I'll leave y'all with a little FD, and we'll see y'all Thursday on the Lineage Podcast when me and my brother come back, do our show. I appreciate the love and the support. Until next time.
In January the 22nd, I guess the Lord had me in the right place, the right time, with the right commitment. I was president of the Selma City Teachers Association. And then we had agreed that, and I persuaded teachers for the first time to engage in a teachers' march. And so we agreed, after they signed their names to a petition, that we were going to march as a teacher group. And so on January 22nd, we met at Clark Elementary School here, which was the school where I attended the first grade through the sixth grade. We met upstairs, and we marched double file. My partner was my 10th, 11th, and 12th grade science teacher. His name was Mr. A.J. Durgan. He was the incoming president of the Selma City Teachers Association. And we led that march, teachers, for the first time in the United States, coming down the steps of Clark Elementary School, down Lawn Street, down to Alabama Avenue, down to the courthouse. Teachers, for the first time. Getting down to the county courthouse, that was standing next to the steps, the superintendent of education, the chairman of the board of education, to persuade me, because I was a teacher, to take the teachers back to the school, because we had made a point, and that no longer should we try to pursue that right from that particular point. And I told him we had a right to be at the county courthouse. It was our courthouse. We were not backing down from our right to be there. And I asked the superintendent and the chairman of the board, who signed my check, to step aside. We went up those steps. Jim Clark had his deputies across the door, and he indicated that we were trying to make a mockery out of his courthouse. And we indicated to him that that was our courthouse also. He gave us 1 minute to move off of those steps. At the expiration of that minute, he took the billy club and jabbed us down the steps on the sidewalk. And my partner, Mr. A.J. Durgan, who, as I said, was my teacher, he was not quite used to that stuff like I was. And he asked me on the ground, he said, "What shall we do?" I said, "We are going back." He said, Yeah. And so we went back the second time. We jabbed down the steps after a minute, and he asked me the same question. I gave him the same answer, and he gave me the same response. The third time when I really was trying to get all the teachers arrested because teachers were not aware of the tremendous influence. They were the largest black professional group here in Dallas County. And so after going back the third time, he said, if you don't go up these steps, Jim Clark said, we're going to arrest you. I said to myself, exactly what I want you to do. And so after about 45 seconds, before that minute expired, someone on the inside of the courthouse came and pulled him on the inside of the courthouse door and said, I didn't go in there with him, but I can imagine what they told him. For goodness sake, don't arrest those teachers.